There is a new, extremely broken method to get shiny Pokemon in Legends EA, and I want to test how fast I can get 10 shinies by using it. To do this method, simply head to Wild Zone 3 in the city and walk over to this tower. By walking through the door of the tower, then heading back down through the same door once you've reached the top, it resets all the Pokemon around you, thus giving them a chance to be shiny. But why am I only hunting 10? According to the internet, Legends EA can only store 10 shiny Pokemon on your file at a time. This means if you find an 11th shiny without capturing the first one that appeared, that same first shiny will vanish. At the point of this video, I'm only a few hours into the game, which means I don't even have the shiny charm, which I think is the only way to increase your odds of getting a shiny Pokemon. So each one of these Pokemon spawning around here have the base odds of 1 in 4,096 chance of being shiny. So let's just see how fast I can get 10 of them. To accurately measure how fast someone like myself can do this, I set up an iPad next to my television and started a timer the second I began walking back and forth through the door. After doing so, I tied a rubber band around my controller, which allowed my character to walk through the door without me having to hold it down myself. And now, we wait. I started this challenge by walking over to my kitchen to clean up a bit. I cleared off the table, swept, and vacuumed before heading back over to the living room. While the resetting happened in the background, I swept and vacuumed some more while doing other chores like laundry and watering some flowers. These chores took me a whopping 48 minutes to complete, and figured even though it's early, let's check if anything had shined. I do have about 6 hours in the game so far and have found a few shiny Pokemon doing this method previously. The crazy part is, all of the shiny Pokemon on my team are all found after doing the same resetting method for only 20 to 30 minutes.
All right, we are removing the rubber band. Let's see what happens. We got a Litleo! There's one. Shiny Litleo, female. And that might be the only one to have shined. We're gonna check, oh! I think I heard another one. Oh, and a Skiddo! Look at that, we got 2!
With 2 shiny Pokemon already under my belt, I started the timer again and waited a bit more. The first hour hit just a few minutes later and my character was still walking through the door as intended. But with just how quickly we had gotten 2 shiny Pokemon, I wanted to shorten the time between how often I checked. So at an hour and 17 minutes, I checked the surrounding Pokemon again.
Still have the Litleo. Another Skiddo. Oh, we got 3 now! 2 Skiddos!
This small area in Wild Zone 3 wasn't the only spot that I needed to keep my eyes on. This shiny scatterbug that I found before I had started this challenge was on top of the rooftop just behind the tower we're resetting at. It could have just been coincidence, but I'm pretty sure that when resetting using this method, some Pokemon are within reach of resetting outside the Wild Zone we're inside. So I headed up to the rooftop and heard the shiny sound.
Maybe these Vivians. Oh, something shined. Is it the Litleo up top, or the Fletchling up top?
I looked around and thought it might have just been one of these smaller Fletchlings down in the market below, but headed back to the top of the tower just in case the alpha Fletchling that spawns did shine.
Oh my gosh, we did! Ooh, we got an alpha! We got an alpha shiny! That's amazing! Oh my gosh! Alpha Fletchling. That's crazy. Alright, well that's 4. Oh my gosh, this method is insane.
So I know we just got a shiny alpha Fletchling to spawn, which is the first shiny alpha that I've ever gotten in this game, but something crazier happened. Just a few seconds later, I walked through the door and found this.
Okay, I literally just turned the timer back on after getting the alpha Fletchling, and if you just saw, there is an alpha Litleo. Let's see if I can pause it real quick, come on. Right there. You saw it for a second, but it's there. An alpha Litleo at 1 minute later. So 2 alphas so far. 2 alpha shinies, 1 regular Litleo. That's insane.
That is 2 shiny alpha Pokemon in only an hour and a half and brings our total up to 5 shiny Pokemon found. We are already halfway done with this challenge at a pace that I didn't think was possible.
Okay, so excuse my dirty mirror, but since we're at the halfway point, I'm actually going to pause the timer and I'm going to hook up my Switch to my capture card so that we can actually get proper footage of the 5 shinies so far. And yeah, 2 alphas. Let's go see what they look like in better quality than my phone. Okay, so to recap, we have the alpha shiny right here, the alpha Litleo that spawns at the bottom of this tower. It is a female. We have the regular Litleo over here, both female. I don't even think the resets reach over here, but I always check the espers because I really want one. Check the Pikachus, nothing yet. There's our Skiddo number 1. Skiddo number 2, and then if we go back up top, the Fletchling. So that is 2 alphas so far, and I think we have 1 male Skiddo
and one female, right? No, both male Skiddos. So the Skiddos are both male, but everything else is female. So that is 5 shinies in under an hour and a half of doing this, and 2 of them were alphas. By the way, if you've made it this far into the video, please like and subscribe to see future videos from me. Let's see what the next 5 shinies are. I brought my Switch back out to my living room and started the timer again and properly set up my rubber banded controller and decided I wouldn't check until the 2-hour mark. But then something terrible happened.
Okay, so it's only been like 10-ish, 20-ish minutes. I don't remember the last time I checked, but it's an hour and a half now. Just past it. For some reason, oh, I found the problem. The rubber band's coming off.
While working at this setup, I can hear my TV in the other room even though it's just a little bit faint, but it was enough that I could hear the resetting happening over and over again. Though all of a sudden, I heard nothing. So this was the first time that I've ever blacked out in the game, and I wasn't really sure what would happen when the game teleported me away from the shiny Pokemon I was around. I quickly teleported back to the Wild Zone where all my shinies were, and thankfully, everything was still there. For all of you out there wondering what happens if you black out, rest assured knowing that your shiny should stay there. I'm no expert, but this is just what happened to me. After reaching the 2-hour mark, I set up my phone and began doing my usual checks. I verified the alpha shiny bird was still there, saw my alpha shiny lion, and then was surprised to find a second normal size shiny Litleo.
This alpha Litleo, a second, not an alpha, we have 2 Litleos now.
I ran over to make sure the Skiddos were still there as well, but also wanted to check outside of the zone again. Luckily I did, because I found a shiny Pidgey on the same light post that I found my original shiny Pidgey on.
Oh my gosh, that is 7 Pidgey on the lamp post is 7, just like my other Pidgey. That's incredible, so we do know it reaches out here.
I was still skeptical about other shiny Pokemon still appearing on the rooftop, so I did my best to check other surrounding Pokemon. Unfortunately, I didn't have the ability to make it to the other roof, but I'm pretty sure none of the Patrats I could see were shiny. The total shiny Pokemon we had found were 7 out of 10. At this point, I was starting to get a little worried that I might actually overwrite the first shiny Pokemon we encountered in this challenge. We were almost done with the challenge only 2 hours in, so I decided to check up again at the 2-hour and 15-minute mark, and I'm glad I did. While doing my checks, I found a shiny Pancham, which not only brought our total up to 8, but it also meant this entire quadrant of spawns in this round wild zone had officially been full of shiny Pokemon. I continued my checks outside the zone and confirmed the shiny Pole Pidgey was still the only one to spawn, but from here on out, I checked my spawns every 5 minutes. At 2 hours and 20 minutes, I checked all of the 8 shinies like normal, but like before, was still very skeptical about the shinies appearing around the rooftop. I looked around extremely carefully and discovered this.
Oh my gosh. Right there's a shiny Fletchling. That is 9. Does it really reach here? Either way, I have a 9th shiny on screen. But right there, that is another Fletchling that's shiny. So there is one more that we can get. Okay, now I'm worried. Okay, so I'm back in the bathroom. I'm gonna bring my Switch back to my setup because I'm worried that when the 10th shiny spawns, I'm not gonna notice. And so I wanna just be hovering it at this point. So let's see how long it takes to get the final shiny.
Okay, we're here at the setup now. I'm going to hit start now, and we are going to see how long this takes for the last one, all right? I began walking around back and forth through the door, but wanted to be careful to not lose any of the current shiny encounters. Though it might have been a tedious idea, I decided it would be best to check all of my current shiny spawns every time I walked through the door, and while doing so, this happened.
Maybe I should just keep checking. You know what, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep checking the Litleos over here. Okay, they're both still here. Are both Skiddos. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, it's an Esper. Oh my gosh, that's 10. It's only, oh my gosh, stop the timer. I'm pulling out my phone.
Okay, ready, set, play. You guys can see me on the camera. I'm recording here now. 2 hours, 22 minutes, 0.7 is where I paused it. So we are going to verify that this is it. So we're gonna verify this with that being number 1, 2 over here, 1 Litleo. So that's 3. Alpha is 4. Alpha is 5. Pancham 6. 7. 8. 9. And then if we go up here, the other Fletchling should be here. It is. That's 10. We have 10 shinies in one file right now. I have to catch them now. Okay, wow.
10 shinies in 2 hours and 22 minutes, so. All that was left to do now was to capture them. After catching the smaller fletchling, I headed over to the shiny pole pidgey, and unfortunately at some point, I accidentally muted my mic. So enjoy this montage of me catching some shinies in the silent film format. My mic has been off this entire time. While I've been catching all of these shinies, even the Alpha Elitleo. So anyways. Maybe Stan. We did it! We got all 10! 10 shinies in 2 hours and 22 minutes using this method. 2 of them were alphas. Let's look at them all. Wow. Okay, so here are the 10 shinies that we got, 2 of them being alpha. That is just so crazy to me. I knew this method worked based on the few shinies that I had gotten already, these 3, but or I should say 4 because I got a scatterbug as well. But man, I did not think that it was gonna happen that fast. I thought this was gonna be an all-day thing. This was a really fun challenge. I can't believe I got all the shinies this quickly. If you want to see another video from me, YouTube thinks that this one would be a good one for you to watch. So please do so, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.